Um, I remember way back, um, one of my first videos that did very well too. You should be able to find it online there, where I wasn't familiar with plants, and I wasn't familiar with the names of the plant. And guess what? I knew how to propagate this little thing here, but what did I call it? I called it unanimous. That's a joke for you guys. Unanimous. But now I know better, right? I do better. Well, I've known better now for a while, but the video is doing so well, I'm not going to pull it for the mispronunciation of a word. And so, yeah. Hi, friends. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your support on the channel. As you can see, I am out in the garden today again. Like, it is so hot this week. We have a heat warning, so what I'm trying to do is work in the shade. I hope you are staying safe and staying hydrated. Yeah, so in the last video we looked at 3 arbors that I built here on our country property, because I am trying to transform it into a cottage garden retreat, right? And so I'm spending a lot of time doing outdoor projects. Now behind me here, there is a framing of some sort, which I will be sharing with you guys eventually. I am not going to take you through everything that I am doing, but at the end of it, I will show it to you and just let you know what I have done, right? And so something else that I am doing in actually creating a garden retreat is planting flowers. If you plant a garden, you know how expensive flowers can be. So one of the things I'm doing is propagating plants from what I already have. Now, lots of my plants propagate by seeds, but there are some that don't readily propagate by seeds so much, like your hydrangeas and your boxwood, and even my like my fruiting plants like my goji berries. Well, euonymus is not a fruiting plant, but yeah, that's one also that I have to propagate so I can put in different areas in the cottage garden. And I have a video that shows you how to propagate euonymus. Recently I did dahlias, or dahlias, as we say in North America. In the Caribbean we say dahlias. I think they do say dahlias in Europe too. But anyways, if you hear me say dahlias, it's the same as dahlias. If I say dahlias, it's the same as dahlias, right? And yeah, so I did the video with what I did with my dahlias, and update on my honeysuckle, because there's also a propagation for video for honeysuckle. In this video, what I want to show you is how easily I propagate hardwood cuttings. I also want to show you a couple of plants that you don't even have to take cuttings to start your propagation. So let's get to it. So I'm standing beside one of my very young goji berry plants. This is gonna be only well, I put it in on the fall last, or in the fall last summer was the first summer, and then this summer now, and I can see that it's starting to bloom. I got quite a bit of fruit from it last year. And the one thing I learned about goji berry plants is that it fruits on old wood. So you do not want to prune your goji berry plants too deep, especially when they are young, like mine is right here. However, what I did was I did a little pruning, and the little branches that I pruned from it, I just took one of them and I stick it in the dirt, in the soil, in the same pot where I have it here. And the telltale sign that it is catching on are the new leaves, right? So that is how easily I propagated this goji berry plant. Otherwise, if you don't have your goji berry plants growing up like I do, because I have a plan for this too, that I will also share with you, lovely viewers and subscribers. But if your goji berry plant is big, bushy, and kind of sprawling, it is quite easy to just bear the branch down to the ground and leave it there, because what's going to happen is where you have the nodes where the leaves are on the plant, it's going to root when it touches the ground. So two ways you can propagate your goji berry plants, and of course you can do it from seeds, but from seeds it takes a lot longer time to really grow and also to fruit, right? So cuttings is a very good way to go when you want to get to that fruiting quicker, right? I think what I'm gonna do is just take you around and show you that I'm not kidding. That little branch or that little piece of cutting that I trimmed from this little plant is actually rooting right here in the pot. Let's take a look. There you go. There is my little goji berry plant, my new goji berry plant. You can see there are new leaves there, right? Now I think the next plant I'm going to move on to is maybe I should do the boxwood, right? Because I have a couple of boxwood that I propagated here in the garden. Let me just grab it for you, or maybe I'll just go ahead and take you over there, guys. Stick with me, please. Here we are with my boxwood plants. Actually, these ones are cuttings that I trimmed off just this spring, right? Because we're not quite in summer yet. So yeah, this spring I trimmed them from the boxwood plants. A couple of them I have at the front, and I'm not going to pull any out to show you that there are roots, but a telltale sign that they are catching on is the new growth here. If you look closely right here, you can see the new growth, right? One of the things you want to make sure that you do is whenever you are trying to propagate a plant, as I said with the goji berry, you make sure that you have a few nodes where the leaves are taken from. This one here has a whole bunch of other stuff growing up in the pot, but you can see this one here. This one I just stuck in the soil last fall when a couple of branches broke off, and yeah, you can see the new growth coming up on this one. Also, what you want to make sure that you do when you put your plants to propagate is make sure that you put them in a soil that drains easily. Like some people will use like a growth hormone, and I do have one, but I don't always use it because I find that they can go ahead and propagate or get roots without the growth hormones, right? So that's it for the boxwood. Now let's take a look at the Euonymus plant, how easy it is, just like the goji berry, to propagate without cuttings at that. Sorry guys, I just turned back because guess what? Earlier this spring, I bought a magnolia tree, which I wanted. I've always wanted a magnolia tree, and I bought one at Costco, right? For what I consider to be a good price, right? But what happened is a couple of the branches I had to cut off because we had to transport it in the SUV, and it could not fit like that. And guess what? I told myself that I was going to go ahead and put the cuttings in soil to see if I could get new plants. And I have had these in water for the longest while. It's just recently that I decided I was going to go ahead and stick them in the soil. So a couple pieces don't look so healthy, but check this one out. if you look closely, you can see that it's starting to put on a tiny, tiny new leaf, which means that it is taken. And that's a happy side for me, because then I will be able to have more than one magnolia tree. You guys, when you do your pruning, if you want to multiply your trees, don't just throw all the clippings that you prune from the tree out. At least try to stick them in some soil. Make sure you have some leaf nodes below. I usually like to have 3 to 5 leaf nodes, right? Because I want to make sure that it takes. I don't want to have just 1 or 2, so that if the 1 or 2 don't grow roots, then that's it. No, I want to have as many or as great a chance as possible. So I would say do 3 or 5 leaf nodes, right? So yeah, let's move on to the Euonymus. So we're on to the Euonymus. I remember way back, one of my first videos that did very well too. You should be able to find it online there, where I wasn't familiar with plants, and I wasn't familiar with the names of the plant. And guess what? I knew how to propagate this little thing here, but what did I call it? I called it Euonymus. That's a joke for you guys. Euonymus. But now I know better, right? I do better. Well, I've known better now for a while, but the video is doing so well, I'm not going to pull it for the mispronunciation of a word. And so, yeah, Euonymus. The lovely Euonymus plants. Okay, so it's as easy as the goji berry. In the first video I did, I showed you how to do it by propagate, by taking cuttings, right, and put it into the soil, da 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 da. However, what I have realized is that you don't even have to take cuttings to propagate your Euonymus plants. Just get a few leaves and bear them down to the ground, and this will happen. They will grow roots where they rest on the soil. And if you notice, they're actually growing roots just about in the area where the leaf nodes are. And that is why it's important to make sure you have leaf nodes contacting the soil for your clippings to take. That's it for plant propagation. And my little thingy I have going over there, I will share with you when it's finished, guys. It is so hot, so I just had to run out of the sun. Now I am sitting in the shade, so it's way better. I feel way better now. I feel more relaxed, but the work must go on, right? Because I consider what I am doing as work. And so the work must go on. I love to share with you wonderful people. You keep me creative, you keep me going, and you help me to earn a little income from YouTube so I can use it to do stuff in my shop and in my garden. So thank you so much. If you have already subscribed, if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. If any of the content I have on the channel is of any interest or value to you. Also remember those super likes, and yeah, you can also join up as a channel member, and there are perks that come with channel membership for $1.99 per month, just $1.99 per month. I appreciate you. Remember, never look at a thing as what it is made to be, but what it can become. You take care now. Until then, please like, share, leave a comment, and yeah, subscribe. And remember to turn on your bell notification so you can be notified of new videos. You take care now. I will see you in the next one.